Let's do it.
Yeah, cool. So I'm Kieran. I'm with Xpress Radio in Cardiff. So obviously you've got the beautiful day, if I'm correct.
Yeah, the Beautiful Day album's coming out on April the 24th.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about it, man. Yeah, it's been a minute.
So kind of what can fans expect from this album? Is there kind of anything that you can give us? Obviously it'll be out by now, but how excited are you for this?
Oh, no, I'm super excited, man. The album is very international.
Yeah.
It actually speaks to where I am at mentally today.
Yeah.
Fully awoke, man. I know life now. I can experience it in different parts of the world.
Yeah.
So I'm a lot more keen into understanding how life goes now than I was before. You know what I mean?
Exactly, mate. I get you. Because obviously
Yeah,
you've spoken past interviews as well about how you think it's important now that you make music for yourself. And
for
I guess
sure.
how important is that to where many artists nowadays maybe might not be doing that and maybe making albums a certain way more for money and kind of the labels?
Well, the thing is, when you do that, you have to reinvent yourself
Yeah.
every year and every album.
Yeah.
And it's hard to be somebody else just once, let alone six, seven, eight, sometimes 15 times.
Yeah.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean? And this is the reason why you see a lot of artists having nervous breakdowns
Yeah.
and it's yeah, they have, women cutting their hair off and they change from one personality to the next.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
stressful, man. It's stressful. So you gotta find that you within all of this and be true to it. And then after that, everything else normally will follow.
So, because obviously, I guess when you're saying that you're making this more for you and it's where you're at more mentally, would you say this album is maybe different to what many people would know you for from your earlier music or?
Oh no, that's the one thing though. I don't never leave the context of how they know me for when what they know me for.
Yeah,
The essence of AKON is always going to be there. Now, the
yeah,
only thing that may change is the topic matter, what I'm talking about. But
yeah.
as far as the feel of the music, the nostalgic aspect of it, all that will still be there. Now, I may change the genres every once in a while and move on to a different type of genre, which I love to explore different types of music from all parts of the world. That
Mm.
I do a lot. So you'll definitely find a lot of that on there for sure.
So, would you say you've kind of experimented more with this album, kind of tested out different sounds, different kind of vibes, different energy, or?
Nah, no testing. We just go in full speed, baby, butt naked.
So obviously on the album as well, we've seen a few features. Obviously, you're going to be touring as well with
Yeah,
Neo, who you've kind of been long time, if I'm correct to say, friends with anyway.
yeah,
How
that's my
how,
guy.
how excited are you for this touring? I guess to be touring with Neo, who you know so well.
Well, it's easier to tour with people that you kind of know already, right?
Yeah,
And when you
exactly.
have a relationship with somebody, it makes the whole road experience so much more easier. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Especially when we're both seasoned on being on the road.
yeah,
That's even better because then with somebody that's not seasoned being on the road, it's a liability because there's so much that they don't know, so many mistakes that can happen out there, so many things that can catch them off guard that you got to be prepared for and make
mm,
sure that they don't get caught up in anything crazy. But for the most part, we're both seasoned. We've been in the game a long time and we know each other and been true to each other for a while. So it just makes it so much easier. You know what I mean?
exactly. Because obviously you're touring the UK, obviously, and obviously other places across Europe. Are there kind of some artists have spoken about the UK crowds and how the energy they bring. Is there something that you would say that you've noticed about UK crowds which maybe separate them to others?
What I would say, I guess it would depend. I think all my audiences are kind of in sync. Like they're the same everywhere.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like they just know me and I know them. So it's like it's really hard to kind of answer that question. But I will say that most yeah, my fan base, they're really they're family, bro. Like
yeah.
you kind like it's a few people that got that kind of fan base that's kind of cultly like followed,
Hmm.
and I'm just happy that I was in the position to actually have my fans be with me for this long. You know?
Yeah, no, I get you. And then obviously kind of moving to maybe future music that you might have coming out or kind of the current music scene. Would you
Right.
say I mean, music fans would love to hear it. Who in the current music scene would you say you kind of enjoying listening to right now, or anyone that you've been keeping an eye on, maybe?
Wow, man, that's the thing. I don't even know. It's so many artists now.
Yeah, is there anyone
It's
who's
so
maybe?
many. I don't. And then what's worse, like names and
Mm,
dates of my handicap. For some
yeah,
reason, I can never remember names. Like I would hear songs,
yeah,
and I would love the song, but don't know who the artist is. You know?
yeah. Would you? Is there anyone maybe that springs to mind that you'd love to collaborate with on a future track or?
Shit, I've worked with everybody. It's so like literally worked with everybody. If I
But
didn't do a song with them, I wrote songs for them.
yeah, yeah. I guess is there anyone you'd say
It's
is there anyone
but
who
well,
you'd go on?
yeah, so but to your point, that's why if you notice, I always work with a lot of new artists and up and coming that I feel like is gonna be the next thing.
Yeah,
Like I always, because those are the ones that really inspire me at this point. Because that's that like that innocence that I will never be able to get back. You
yeah.
know that urge and that hunger for wanting to do this and be a star and all that. So, man, that the juices that come out of that energy is
Mm,
so creative that
yeah.
those the up and coming hungry guys and girls, those are the ones that I'd be like really like, okay, who's that? All right, we need to rock together now. While she's at candy store prices.
Yeah, exactly. I guess you'd say that the music scene now is maybe different to kind of the
Yeah,
early two.
way different from
Yeah,
when I was coming up. Okay, it had to be an A-lister that I connect with, right? Because that
yeah,
was the goal to get the biggest star ever. Now, to me, it's like finding the biggest talent first.
yeah. No, exactly. And obviously you've worked with artists, Eminem, kind of Gwen Stefani, if I'm right.
Right.
You've worked with many different artists. I guess are there any stories that you've got from when you've kind of worked with those on tracks, maybe
Man,
behind the scenes?
it's stories for days. Like they all over the place. The only problem is when you're working on that level, a lot of those stories you really can't speak out loud on them.
Yeah, exactly. But obviously
You know,
you've spoken about as well, I guess, working with up and coming artists. I guess is that and that's a new role that you're taking on. Would you say it's easier to maybe work with up and coming artists than what it would be to work with kind of
actually it's harder, believe it or
yeah?
not. Yeah, a lot of times it's harder, and I think that's another reason why I like that too, because it gives me that challenge, right?
Yeah.
Because you got to think like they're coming from a very innocent place.
Mm,
They have no idea what's to come, where it's going, and how they even got there. Most of them, right? They just excited to be in the room. But
yeah.
then when you hear that talent and you hear what that is going. You kind of want to prepare them for what they're about to like experience. But then for the most part, it's a lot of them come in with just raw talent and then we help them captivate, kind of just guide it in the right direction to where it can really maximize the talent that they're holding.
Yeah,
And that
exactly.
that'd be the biggest challenge trying to pull that the best out of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. And obviously there's a lot of features that we've seen on this album, a lot of up and coming artists as well that I've noticed. I
Right.
guess are there any songs on this album that I guess you expect to kind of follow the kind of club hits that obviously you've had from the early 2000s or
Yeah, I think on the Afro house side,
mm,
there's this one record that I got. It's like an Afro Latin record called Que Calor.
yeah,
That record's about to be one of the biggest club records of the summer,
yeah,
especially for festivals. Because we've already shipped it to radio. I mean, I'm sorry, to the DJ pools. And on every DJ pool we sent it to, it's already number one on the DJ pool right
yeah,
now. And the record hasn't even released yet. So that's how I'll be knowing which record is about to go crazy. Because when the DJs are like, yo, this is a banger,
yeah.
then the moment they play it for the audience, they're gonna sell it for me.
I guess so do you kind of when after you've finished producing and kind of mixing a song, is there a feeling where you kind of know like this is the one that's gonna be
Yeah.
the hit, yeah?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes you be wrong. Because sometimes, like some records, you don't know if it's gonna hit the club or it's just gonna be a popular record that may stream on the charts, right?
Yeah.
Some records I know is gonna be the club. Like most of the records on this album, they're more chart topping,
Yeah.
right? But
Okay, yeah.
then oftentimes when they're chart topping, they find their way to the clubs.
Yeah.
But the one record I know for sure is gonna find its way to the club and probably lead the way is Que Calor, 100%.
Yeah. Is that the one you'd say to look out for then off this album?
If you're in a club, be
That
look out to listen for it. But I think the top charting song on there is most likely going to be Ringtone.
ringtone. And obviously I guess
Yes.
ringtones
That
is
that's Billboard Chop Top and Top 100, 100%.
yeah. And then I guess with ringtone then it kind of segues easy then. Obviously back in the early 2000s, many might know, you made a fortune off of selling ringtones as well.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
guess for many that might not know, a lot of your popular tracks kind of Smack That, Lonely, I Wanna Love You as well. You made
Yeah. Like
reportedly millions off of it. I
on
guess
Ringtone. Yeah.
Is there, could you kind of explain how you come about with this and how you found that out? Obviously, just explain the story maybe.
Yeah, because when we was coming up, we would sell out albums, but then we would always put out singles that would
Mm,
drive you back to the album, right?
mm,
And then with the singles, you know, they was running for like $1.99. But then when digital started coming in, they actually started allowing those songs to be on your phones, but they would only play 15 seconds of it.
yeah,
And then you were able to take that 15 seconds and make it a ringer. So when somebody calls you, that song will come up, which was that what was then named to be a ringtone.
yeah,
So I noticed that the singles was only $1.99, but then that was like 4 minutes long. But then the ringtones, which was only 15 seconds, they were selling for $4.99.
yeah,
That's $5. I'm like,
exactly.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I'm not. What am I doing? I'm over here.
Would you say that you're more of a businessman as well as an
A
artist?
100%. Man, it was business as usual when I heard that. So then I
Exactly.
started making all my songs to fit ringtone quality.
Yeah,
I made sure that the chorus was super catchy. So when it get on that ringtone, boom, people will get it, love it, and then capture that ringtone. And that's what ended up happening. So
yeah.
I ended up being selling so many ringtones. I ended up ending up in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most ringtones sold ever in that era.
Perfect. And then obviously, when we mentioned about you being more of a businessman, obviously you've got a few kind of ventures going on right now. Obviously, you've had AKON Lighting Africa,
Yeah.
you've had AKON, and you've had obviously the label. Are there any business ideas maybe that you've got coming up, or any that you haven't pursued yet that have caught your interest?
Yeah, I mean, what's catching my interest right now is this whole AI movement,
Yeah,
and I'm really paying a lot of attention to it because a lot of the businesses that I'm already invested in are all moving and merging into this AI, in integration. So I'm definitely looking to see what the new technologies are coming that's actually attached to that,
yeah.
so that way I can find out how to actually take it to the next level. But I think that's going to be the future for sure.
Would you say you're a fan then of AI in music? Are you kind of do you support
Oh,
the
I love it.
idea?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love it. I
Because
honestly love it.
because obviously a lot of artists have kind of spoke out about it, and you've got many have used AI on their albums, and some have
Right.
come under criticism. I guess is that something that you might look at implementing in your own future tracks, maybe?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna definitely implement it in future tracks, uh, production, wherever I can utilize it to really upgrade and make my sound better. I'm definitely gonna use it. Like I feel like I want to give my fans the fullest experience,
Mm.
but I just don't believe in obviously taking an AI record from top to bottom and then putting it out like that. To me, that's corny. But
Yeah,
if you're using elements from AI that you feel can advance or enhance what you're trying to do, by all means, you should definitely do it. Because
yeah,
like prime example. I may have a song where I want a whole audience, like a stadium crowd, to sing along with me.
yeah,
I obviously can't afford to get them, 35,000 people in the stadium to sing that chant, but I can do
exactly.
it through AI. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
So it's things like that that I would use it for, things that's just obtainable by human, reform. But for the most part, I always believe that human touch is the heartbeat of that song. So I wouldn't want to replace it with AI, but I don't see anything wrong with utilizing AI as a tool to enhance what you're creating.
I guess as long as you keep that kind of Acon blueprint that everyone knows
Oh
and
yeah,
kind of
yeah, because AI will never give you that.
exactly
AI will never give you that. Only I can do that.
keep the
Yeah,
DNA that people know you for, yeah.
absolutely,
And then
absolutely.
I guess obviously we've spoken about your music, spoken about your business, and I guess it might be more of a difficult question for you to answer, but you've built influence through music, business, and kind of social impact. Would you say that there's a level of responsibility that comes with your popularity and maybe especially for the next generation that watch you, maybe?
100%, absolutely. Like it's you got to be an idiot or super selfish to think that you don't have no responsibility. Like
Yeah,
you got your responsibility is towards the people that support you, that's putting you in that position to even have a responsibility in the first place. I
yeah,
just feel like once you become hugely popular and highly influential, you
mm,
got to be very careful what you do, very careful what you say, because there's people out there that's actually looking up to you, that's going to do exactly what you do, and you got to not be so naive to believe that you don't that they're not going to do that. You know
mm.
what I mean?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's very important to understand your responsibility before walking into this world or this arena of what we're doing as an entertainer or as a celebrity, period. It's very important to note that you have to be able to be in a position to accept that you no longer belong to yourself no more. You belong
Yeah.
to the world now.
Do you think many, especially in the current music scene, do you reckon that maybe there are people who are great mentors, or do you reckon that there are especially some out there who don't kind of recognize that level of kind of
Oh
influence that they
yeah.
have?
It's plenty of them out there. But those are the
Mm.
ones that don't last. And
Yeah.
those are the ones that have that hard fall to where you're on YouTube looking at the rise and fall of that artist.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Those are
I
the
know
ones.
exactly what you're on about, mate. And then kind of
Yeah.
well, steering back to the album. Would you say that there's any favorite features that you have on this album? Obviously, you've got many, and I guess maybe not having a favorite one because I guess it would be quite unfair to say. But are there anyone who's
Right.
featured that you might that whose verses and kind of bits that you loved on it?
Yeah, actually, the one I'm really excited about that I want to see how it actually flows in is the one I did with Stephen Marley.
Yeah,
Like I always wanted to put this record out with me and him, man. We are huge fans of each other. Just the Bob Marley legacy, and I grew up listening to them, and he sounds so much like Bob. It's just so
yeah,
crazy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like I'm like, I can't wait to drop this record just for the
yeah.
most like the international ambiance of it, man. It's amazing.
How was the recording experience then, I guess, for
Oh,
the
it was
album?
amazing.
Yeah,
It was unbelievable. Like I flew out to Jamaica to work with him. I
yeah,
stayed out there for a whole week. It was almost like a vacation workcation, to be honest, because we had so much fun. We didn't even realize that we were working. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And that's how I like to. Yeah, I don't want anything that I do to feel like work because the moment it feels like work, that means I'm doing it all wrong. Like I should
yeah,
be able to be enjoying this because I had my moments in time where I was constantly working and grinding. And it was
yeah,
just a hustle and bustle. But now it's different. I've been there, done that. I want my last years to be enjoyable, man. So that's
yeah,
why I got back in for the real life, honestly, because the first time I never got to even enjoy majority of the cities that I flew into.
yeah, exactly.
Now we're making time to enjoy these cities before we go to the next spots, things like that.
Are there any cities that you're maybe more excited to perform in? Maybe that you've had past kind of amazing crowds there, or
Man, we've been having amazing crowds pretty much everywhere. But I gotta say between Africa,
yeah,
Lebanon, India, whew, Brazil. Oh my goodness, yeah, it's crazy.
yeah.
It's super, super crazy.
So I guess have you got any final words for your fans ahead of this release?
Man, listen, just thank you guys for all the support throughout all these years. Again, it's a very international album. I can't wait for you guys to take a listen to it. You know what I mean? Hopefully, you better take something away from this whole album because I really want to bring substance back into the music that just makes you feel good, man. So hopefully, this does it for you.
Perfect. And I think that should be all good for us. So I think that
No, I
is.
appreciate that, man.
So thank you so much, mate, honestly, for the
Thank
interview.
you, brother. You
Good luck
got it.
with the tour, and I can't wait to hear the album.
You got it, my brother.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
You too, mate. Bye bye.